There, I'm meteorologist Lily Aldrich, and this is the 10 Weather Impact Show, where we discuss pretty much everything weather behind the scenes. We've had quite an interesting August, and you've heard us say that quite a bit over the past few weeks, especially over the past few days, when we've had a little bit more of calmer weather, and that's been a quite nice change compared to all the rain we've seen over the last month. So let's take a check of our forecast for today and a little bit of a look at how much rain we've actually seen in August so far. You can see we started off with a little bit of rain just at the beginning of August, and then we had a nice stretch of a little bit more of drier weather, and then we kind of started that long haul of heavier rain days, starting off just at August 7th, continuing every single day with measurable rain up until August 17th. Then we had a little bit of a dry day, another stretch of some wetter weather out there. This past weekend, a little bit more rain. But thankfully, over the last few days, it's been a little bit drier. Now, in terms of totals, we've seen quite a bit of rain as well, and it's definitely not been a normal thing. We've seen around 7 inches above what we normally see at this time of year. Taking a look outside, though, right now at satellite and radar, a couple clouds out there, kind of spotty all across the area. You'll stay mostly cloudy through the rest of the evening, but we are taking a look at just an isolated shower that's kind of starting to pop up in our northern counties. And this one right here, especially going down into Franklin County within the next few hours. That's because of a cold front that's sitting across us right now, kind of building a little bit of that instability, giving way for a little bit of rain coming in later this afternoon. That'll get out of here and push a lot of those rain chances away by the time we get into the weekend, which is looking quite nice. What to expect over the next few hours? It looks pretty nice outside as well, with lots of sunshine. The heat dome is on the way back, and you might remember me saying a lot about the heat dome building in this past July, and we start to see a little bit more of that trend coming back to end off August. Getting into the rest of the day, though, it will stay sunny pretty much the rest of the day with a chance of seeing some isolated showers. Over the next 12 hours, we'll dip back down to the mid-60s getting in overnight tonight. Chance of rain just around right now and continuing in the next few hours. Highs right around 82 degrees by the time we hit 4 p.m. It will stay mostly sunny continuing through the afternoon. What you should expect overnight, we do have a chance of seeing that partial lunar eclipse tonight, where the moon will be sitting, where the Earth rather would be sitting in between the sun and the moon, giving a nice, interesting looking shadow on the moon. We'll stick in the 60s overnight tonight, where we'll see a little bit of a dry out. Continue into tomorrow, where we'll see 80s, lots of sunshine, but we do have a chance of seeing an isolated shower or two, mainly in the afternoon. You'll stay mostly dry for the rest of the day today with just that isolated shower chance. This is kind of what we're looking at right now, but mainly we're looking at an isolated shower closer to the southern parts of our area. You'll see this one might produce a little bit of rumble of thunder, heavier rain, but just scooting right past us and getting into the rest of your Thursday evening, you're looking mainly dry. Clouds will build in by the time we get into tomorrow, staying mostly sunny, and then we have a chance of getting into some isolated showers again tomorrow afternoon. This is a snapshot of around 6 p.m. for your hour by hour. That'll continue until 7, 8 o'clock, where some areas will see a little bit of heavier rain, maybe just a pocket or two, but they're going to be very quick moving. In there, out of there, they're all on the way by the time we get into Saturday. Nice dry weather looking into Saturday as well into Sunday. Humidity is here to stay, though, especially getting into the middle parts of next week. We'll stick around in the dew points in the 60s pretty much all week this week, and that's the humid kind of weather. You step outside, you feel the humidity. By the time we get into Wednesday and Thursday, things start to get on the rise a little bit when we get dew points back in the 70s into that uncomfortable range. Here's that heat dome I was talking about. Currently, it's sitting over the southwest, where that high pressure system is bringing in some warmer temperatures, and by the time we get into the beginning of September, it starts making its way into bringing warmer temperatures here in central Ohio. Thankfully, we're not going to be seeing temperatures as extreme as we did in July, but we're still going to see a little bit more of a peak for our feels-like temperatures. We're forecasting right now around the 90s for your temperatures, but with that humidity I was just telling you about, feels like temperatures are going to be in the mid to low 90s, and that'll continue Monday, Tuesday, and even into Wednesday, with feels like temperatures continuing to be in the mid 90s. It'll be feeling pretty warm out there, especially at the beginning of the week. Rain chances over the next few days. We have a slight chance of those isolated showers coming in tomorrow for your Friday, but we're dry Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and even into Tuesday. By the time we get into Wednesday and Thursday, rain starts to build back in with those afternoon shower chances. Here's your 7-day forecast. 20% chance today, just those isolated showers, and that heavier cell we might see kind of in our southern counties that'll get out of here pretty fast. Friday, isolated showers again. It might be a little bit more dreary out there during your afternoon, evening hours, but Saturday, Sunday, Monday, even into Tuesday, looking nice and dry. But we do have temperatures starting to build a little bit back up into the 90s by the time you get into the rest of the weekend. So that's definitely something you're going to want to keep an eye out for, especially getting into the beginning of the week. So, hey, overall, not too bad on the weather front, but looking ahead towards some warmer temperatures, especially getting into September. The Hawk Fire in Reno, Nevada has burned over 15,000 acres, and residents are actually looking for ways to recover. Families all over Nevada have been ordered to evacuate homes with not too many places to go. But while searching for relief, United Way and Airbnb.org have teamed up to offer free short-term stays for displaced residents. Alina Dangerfield has that story.
Our hearts go out to these communities. This is going to be a long recovery. We want you to know you're not alone.
5 years ago, Airbnb founded a nonprofit that supplies free housing to folks experiencing a major disaster called Airbnb.org. The nonprofit has already responded to 150 disasters around the world just this year. Now, they're responding to Reno for the Hawk Fire.
Airbnb.org reached out to us talking about this opportunity for us to be able to provide free housing for families. And really, over the last 24 hours, it became apparent there was a big need.
United Way of Northern Nevada and the Sierra stems from another international organization, making its chapters able to stay hyper-local and help the communities they live in. Their primary mission is to connect neighbors to resources that can assist based on the situation they're facing. Together, they're providing free Airbnbs to those displaced.
We're looking at a 10 to 28-day stay at the beginning, which lets people sort of catch their breath, figure out what their options are, and then move on.
They say staying in a home rather than a shelter, hotel, or friends and family's houses allows for everyone to be more comfortable and save money as they figure out their next steps.
We have seen some applications come through. People have already been asking if they can receive some of those credits.
Instead of Airbnb picking and choosing, they award those who apply credits, and they can book a place that fits them best. The amount of credits depends on the family situation.
Between 10 and 28 nights, depending on the program, how many people are in the family, and then the average daily rate in that particular area. And so with those credits, then folks can go book whatever Airbnb they want and figure out what works for their particular family.
Hosts get paid by the nonprofit and can also sign up to donate their space and allow for those credits to stretch even further. Covering the story, Alina Dangerfield, 2 News Nevada.
The fires are now becoming more contained throughout the week, though, with most areas previously under the red evacuate now status have now been downgraded, allowing residents to start returning home. And some families who have returned home to unexpected sites, with some neighborhoods being spared from the fires. Alan Bean has that story.
The Hawk Fire quickly blackened Peavine Mountain on its way to Stead. Janitza Santos vividly remembers the moment her family got the notification to evacuate.
We didn't think that the fire was going to get really close to our house because it was on the other side of the mountain and we wouldn't think it would get over to the freeway. But it was really traumatizing.
Down the street, Jennifer Bryant rushed to get her son, dog, and 3 cats into the car, but her husband stayed behind.
My husband stayed up until right at the very last moment, watering everything down, just to hopefully to save something.
Meanwhile, Santos and her family made it out of the neighborhood, but then their neighbors called. An old woman was stuck in her garage with no power. Santos and her father rushed back twice to save her and another neighbor.
It was so bad. I mean, the fire got in our eyes and we couldn't breathe. It was really hard, and I was so worried for my dad because he had a heart attack a few years ago.
Both the Bryants and the Santoses made it out safely. When they returned, both found their homes still standing and the burn scar a stone's throw away.
It was pure shock, pure emotional tears, everything, but happy tears that we still had a house.
Considering that my parents have been here for over 23 years, and I just was so grateful seeing that my house is here.
Bryant says she's looking to support her neighbors as much as possible.
Come to Honeysuckle Court. We will help out as much as we can. We have food, we have power, we have extra rooms. Come bring your animals. We have room for them too. And if they just need help, if they just need a hug, we're here.
And you can help out too. We have the links to several GoFundMes on our website and the information for several community fundraisers there as well. Covering Firewatch, Alan Bean, 2 News Nevada.
At least 273 people are dead this morning after a catastrophic flooding along the border of Nepal and China. Emergency responses continue this morning. Let's take a look at this video. A massive wall of rock and mud ends up collapsing, sending floodwaters rushing into communities on the Nepal side. As you can see, it all happened in a matter of moments. The water moving so fast, people had almost no time to get out of its path. We have learned today that a glacier is the root cause of the mudslide. Emergency crews are having to use backhoes to carry survivors out of mud-swamped areas, showing just how difficult these rescues have become. One survivor says he waited on his roof for hours before a helicopter finally reached him, but his wife was swept away. As of this morning, 1,300 people are still unaccounted for, including tourists and pilgrims traveling to a sacred site in Tibet. The Red Cross and other United Nations agencies are now helping with the response, and the death toll keeps rising.
From the data that has come so far, there has not been a great prediction as number of lives lost. So the numbers we see at the moment is still very less, but we all can see with the level of destruction, it is going to be much higher.
Flooding has destroyed entire villages, roads, and power projects. Nepal is asking both India and China to help with the massive search and rescue effort. Closer to home this morning, Whitehall residents can now apply for direct city help to repair recent storm damage. Less than 24 hours ago, City Council approved a $150,000 disaster fund, offering up to $500 per household. Residents must submit photos, receipts, or repair estimates with their application to qualify. And the heat is still ongoing in California, and for road crews, it's no joke. Working on hot asphalt in triple-digit heat, road crews are seeking ways to start staying cool. CBS's L.A. Zach Boetto in Ontario is reporting.
Waves of heat are coming off the pavement in Ontario.
Oh, it's pretty hot right now.
Hot. Much of the Inland Empire hotter than 100 degrees Wednesday, and the work does not stop. But that heat does have some benefit for this crew working on a neighborhood street.
It's like butter. When the butter's cold, it's harder to work with. When it's nice and soft and warm, it lays down nice and smooth.
It's already over 100 degrees here in Ontario, but crews here say the asphalt they're laying can get up to 200 degrees.
200 plus, and then you got the additional heat right here outside. These guys give their all. These guys are hard workers, tough guys.
Regardless of how tough you are, these crews working in the triple-digit heat are drinking plenty of water and taking some time for themselves to cool off.
My crews are taking breaks every so often. We're drinking so much water just to stay hydrated. Even in this cab, it feels like I'm in the oven.
These crews say surviving the heat comes down to how you prepare.
No matter what, we're taking our water breaks, trying to stay hydrated.
We're out here paving the roads in 100 plus degrees and getting it done.
More in California, a scheduled power outage is putting some in Huntington Park residents and businesses in a tough spot today. The power outage has been out all day long in the middle of this intense heat. CBS LA reports over in Huntington Park about how the power is affecting residents.
It's hard, no sales, how to pay rent, how to pay bills and everything.
For Jose Pimentel, keeping his restaurant.
In video today,
it's hard, no sales, how to pay rent, how to pay bills and everything.
For Jose Pimentel, keeping his restaurant open Tuesday took a little help from his friends.
Somebody let me borrow some generators and I'm just doing something to survive right now.
Pimentel owns La Quesadilla Loca in Huntington Park, which is in the area where Southern California Edison has a scheduled power shutoff.
It's hot. The hood is not working, no AC. We just got a fan. We just put this fan right now with this one.
He says he was notified about Tuesday's planned outage, but knowing it was coming didn't make it any easier because he was under the impression it was happening last week.
And I think, it's okay they do it, but they would do it better on the weekend because nobody opens on the weekend.
And thankfully, he has generators because if he didn't, this would all be potentially going to waste.
Correct.
The outage was scheduled for 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. That means 8 hours without electricity during the hottest part of the day.
We recognize that any power outage is disruptive.
Scott Johnson with Southern California Edison says it's important to stay on top of maintenance, even during the summer, to ensure power keeps flowing.
Delaying these outages could cause equipment to fail, especially and could result in longer outages.
SoCal Edison says it also has programs to help affected customers.
Critical care backup battery program. There are also other programs and power options and rebates on portable generators and portable power stations.
Meantime, Pimentel's focus now is simple. Keep the doors open, keep the refrigerators running, and get through the hardest part of the day.
We just try to survive.
A partial lunar eclipse today will see most of America's late events Thursday night in Eastern time. If you take a look at this video right here, you can actually see NASA says the Earth's shadow will seem to take a bite out of the moon later this afternoon. It says that it will cover almost the entire disk around midnight Eastern time. That should produce colors of shades rust, copper, and brown throughout the evening. The eclipse has multiple stages spanning almost around 6 hours tonight, ending around 3 a.m. Eastern. The event is safe and possible to see with the naked eye. Checking out in other news, another video, a wildfire that sparked in the Palo Pinto County on Monday has grown at least 80,000 acres. But a group of cowboys has come together to start herding cattle away from the ongoing fires throughout the days. This shows video right here of those cowboys taking all the cattle down the street. It's actually a pretty sweet sight amidst everything going on right now. Well, back here in Central Ohio, let's take one final look at our weather forecast for today. We'll see some spotty showers continuing through most of your afternoon hours. Those will let up by the time we get in later into the evening. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, even into Tuesday, we'll be seeing mostly dry weather. Spotty showers are possible Friday afternoon into the evening, but temperatures will be staying in the low 80s, getting up to possibly 90s by the time we hit Monday and Tuesday. So a definite warm up is on the way. Rain chances stay away from us pretty much up until this upcoming Wednesday when they come back into our forecast. Well, that's it here for the 10 Weather Impact Show. Chief Meteorologist Chris Tomer is in tonight, giving you everything else you need to know weather-wise. Stick with us and stay safe.